Hello, guys and gals. Hold on, I gotta do my intro. Hello, guys and gals, and welcome. So, we finally got patch notes. Like, holy crap, and they gave us a whole lot of patch notes, and it's nuts. Like, what they gave us was nuts. Absolutely. Look, there's little squirrels everywhere trying to collect the nuts. That's how nuts it is. Just absolutely nuts. If you haven't seen my patch notes video, I do go over the entire patch notes all the way from, the beginning. I read the entire patch notes. I talk about them. I'd like to go more in depth than I did on my patch notes video. It was already 42 minutes long, and I didn't really want to increase that any further. But if you do want to take a look at the original patch notes video where I go over everything in detail, you're more than welcome to. That is right here. And what we're going to be doing this live stream is we're going to be kind of talking about and looking at some of the potential changes that could potentially make some really cool things going on. Also, if you haven't noticed, Mr. NiNi has a summer home in the Hamptons now. He has his own little cage up here. This is just a temporary cage. This is not his real cage, by the way. He has a much larger, huge ferret cage downstairs. But this whole point of this is to give him a place so that he can be up here with me. And I can give him treats and stuff, and he can come see me. And him said, you got some of them raisins? Because I like raisins. You want some raisin? Come here. Fine, you don't get a raisin if you don't come here. We're not going to give you nothing. You don't get nothing unless you come and do the show. You got to come do the show. Come do the show and show everybody your little cage. Come on. No, give me the race. Stage fright. Stage fright. 2 minutes ago, before I started live streaming, he was over here trying to jump out the cage, and now as soon as I start live streaming, it's like he knows. He knows. It's the secret. It's the secret. He knows. What's up, guys? What are we gonna do today? I was gonna play around on my Paladin a little bit, but I'm kind of interested in these changes. Come on, get your raisin and stop being the toopy poopy head. You better take your raisin and shut up. That's right. Take it. He'll come out and see me. He will. You shall see. He'll just pop out every now and then. Chinchillas are very curious by nature, and the door being open on his cage has already got his curiosity piqued. He doesn't understand why his door is open. He's like, my door shouldn't be open. He goes, the evil cats are going to eat me. He goes, I don't want to get eaten. He goes, are you going to shut the door? I want to be protected from the evil cats. Evil cats. The cats of evil.
It is an honor to serve you.
So they took away the holy fire, holy freeze, holy shock, sanctuary buff, and then they put it back, but they didn't put it back in the same way. So we're gonna have to see that. I don't know if that's gonna be interesting or what's going on there. That's one of the things that we definitely got to do. Oh yeah, I had a unique amulet and a rare ring and a rare jewel all drop while I was playing Nintendo Switch, and I was like, you know what? I'll hold on to these, and we'll identify them on stream so you guys can have fun with me guessing what kind of crap I got. They were found in level 85 zones, so they could be potentially very good, but you know they also could potentially be a Nokazan relic and a crap ring that's not worth anything. And the jewel also could be a crap jewel that's not worth anything, but they could potentially be really good. So I guess we'll identify the ring first. You coming out here with me, Mr. Knee? You got a spotlight on you. Everybody can see you. That's right. 10% faster cast. All resistance is 4. 7 to minimum damage. 104 to attack rating. Energy 15. What the hell's going on with this ring? I mean, 7 to minimum damage is a lot of min. 104 attack rating is nice, but faster cast is not really super needed. But at the same time, I guess if you were one of those characters who's a melee character who needs faster cast, like this could potentially be really good for maybe like a Singer Barb. Maybe a Singer Barb who also melees. I don't know. It's kind of an odd one there. That's not a bad ring. That's not a bad ring at all, especially with the all resistances on there. I mean, it could be higher, but that's not bad. I'm gonna hang on to that. All right, so let's take a look at the jewel next. Five min, cold damage, energy, lightning resist. Not really that great. It's kind of a failure. A failure. Is a failure. I did find this in a level 85 zone, though. You know what? Let's have fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go, boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you guys are unaware of this, 6 perfect skulls plus any rare item can re-roll the rare item into something else. And let's give it a try. And it re-rolled. It re-rolled worse. It re-rolled so much worse. All my skulls. Alright, then we got the amulet. What kind of amulet do you think this is? Found a little 85 zone. Could be a Nokozan relic. Could be a rising sun. Could be a what's that one that's Mahim Oak Curio? Could be a Mahim Oak Curio. Could be a High Lords. Could be a Cat's Eye. Seraph's Hymn, +2 all skills, +1 defensive. that's no, I don't like that one. That's okay, whatever. That's not good. I don't like that. Mr. Nice, what are you doing over there? He's playing in his new house. He likes his new house. He's playing around in his new house. He doesn't know what he's doing exactly with his life right now, but it's important, and he's finding his house is his joy. He'll be bored of his house a little bit. He'll come out and play with us. What's up, punk? Am I freaking normal difficulty? These monsters are dying real fast. You coming out to play with us or not, Mr. Nee?
I could trade this for something more valuable.
No, you evil Hydra spamming monsters, leave my mercenary alone. It's a Holy Freeze Paladin, SDSS 27. Holy Freeze Paladin. Look here, sir. Look. Hey. No running from me. I don't know who told you it was okay to run from me, but it's not okay to run from me. I got guided arrows. I got the guided arrows. Mr. NiNi, you coming out or no? He said, don't push me. He said, I'll come on, come out. Don't tell me what to do. I'm not, you're not the boss of me. He said, you're not my boss. And you're not jumping down. So get that thought out of your head. You're not jumping down. That's right.
Goodbye.
He looked at me mad.
Good day.
Yes, the guided arrow, Widowmaker. Guaranteed hits, right? Guaranteed hits. I don't know why I'm singing my go James Bond. Boom, doo, 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 doo. The golden bird of Greeley is made for you a person. All right, so I think we got enough people in here now. Let's do some chatting about these patch notes, shall we? So I really wanted to go over these patch notes and talk about some of the stuff more in detail. And bink, look at that, patch notes. It's them dang old patch notes. It's them dang old patch. Come, Mr. NiNi, will you come out here? We're trying to do patch notes. Come on, Mr. Knees. Come on, Mr. Knees. He's like, no. Are you coming or no? Lazy. Dang. Take off the whole keyboard off. Sit on my shoulder and be good. It's terrible. It'll be terrible. Bink. Okay, I don't know where to put the chat on this. The chat's in the way no matter what. The chat is in the way no matter what. I'm going back to my house. You can't tell me what to do. He literally does go back in his house too. It's hilarious. I never understood. They love going in their house. Their house is their life. Their life is their house. Their house is their life. They freaking love it. All right, this will work fine. Skaven invested. Skeever? I do got a skeever. He's a good skeever though. Okay, he's not a bad skeever. His name is Mr. Nee or Mr. Nimoy or Mr. NiNi, whichever one you prefer. All right, so I wanted to talk about some of these things in advance here. So we did get the Uber Diablo changes, and until we actually get a chance to test this out, it's not going to. We're not going to get anything super crazy with this. We did, however, get knowledge of this special command called /Uber Diablo, which I'm sure is not live yet, and I just typed it in just to be absolutely sure. But apparently, you'll be able to type in /Uber Diablo into the chat command and. Or in the chat, and it will give you a status update of how far along Uber Diablo's spawn progress is, which is very interesting. So, lots of changes, Samael. I would recommend that you check out my my patch notes video if you want more details. We're going to be going into more of the fine detail, which is not really going over everything, but we're gonna have fun exploring the possible repercussions of this patch together. So this is more along the lines of like a exploratory sort of a situation. Well, Sojas is in keeping with the original purpose of Uber Diablo. So if you're unaware, Spencer, the original purpose of Uber Diablo was to get rid of Sojas because they were being duped, and it was to control the ever ridiculous population of Sojas. Like literally, it was to the point where at some point people had like a Soj on every finger, and then like they put on some Sojas on their toes, and then when they had 20 Sojas on, they like started trying to fit Sojas in their ears and stuff. Like, that's how ridiculous it used to be back in the day. So the whole Uber Diablo thing was supposed to control the duped Soj population. And it worked to a degree. But you can't really dupe them anymore. So it's kind of redundant. But, like, almost as a historical thing, it makes sense to keep it that way just simply because, that's what it always was. So animation speed for Impale increased. Now that is a really good change in my opinion. When I played around with Impale on the server, if you haven't seen it, I actually have a live stream from the patch 2.4 patch where I literally kill the Ubers. I do Uber Tristram with a spears on, and I make it work, and I'm actually able to kill all three. One of the things that I noticed was it was just too slow. Even with a fast spear and even with lots of increased attack speed equipment and everything that I could possibly put on her to make her faster, it was just not fast enough. And so the 30% increase to impale, I'm sure, is going to make a huge difference. So we'll keep that in mind. We also have very nice buffs to Plague Javelin, which I'm not really 100% sure. I have heard a couple people were pretty excited about Plague Javelin, especially as an alternative damage source to a Javazon. If you are a Lightning Fury Zon, you can build Plague Javelin, and you can have two different elements, which having lightning and poison is certainly a nice combo. And then you also have your physical damage as well, so you have three different element types there, which would be very nice. And Plague Javelin and Poison Javelin don't really require that much of investment. It's only 40-point investment for a rather nice amount of damage. Which is much better than some other skills which require 60 or 80 points investment for the same amount of damage. So it's an interesting thing, and I'm glad that they kind of looked at beefing up the damage of those. We also got a huge buff to the Boson. So multi-shot got a synergy from Guided Arrow. Immolation Arrow got a cooldown reduction, which it really needed. I felt like they had already reduced the cooldown in 2.4 Public Test Realm, but a lot of us felt like it really just wasn't fast enough. And now that Immolation Arrow has that 40% reduction, it'll be much better. The Guided Arrows also got a synergy bonus. So Guided Arrow has been kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the game for a while. And I'm kind of glad to see it get some buffs here. So it looks like you can definitely build a Guided Arrow / multi-shot Zon at this point, because these two are going to synergize together, and that's going to become synonymous. So you're going to see a lot of multi-shot Zons firing Guided Arrows. And obviously the benefit of Guided Arrow is it doesn't miss, and the benefit of multi-shot is that you get multiple hits. Both very, very nice. Mr. NiNi, don't chew on my wires. Don't you be choosing on my wires, sir. Don't you be chewing on my wires. Wear you as a hat. I see you thinking your little brain gears are turning. Don't even. I see them little brain gears going. Quit it. You're getting stuff all over me. A little bedding. There's a little paper bedding all over me. It's a chinchilla, Alan. It's a chinchilla. Very cute animals. Very soft. Very fluffy. Let's see here. So Strafe also got a synergy too, which is very interesting. So it does seem like there's an entire build now where you could build, for instance, multi-shot, Guided Arrow, and Strafe together, which could make a really nice combo. I'm not exactly sure if you'd want to do that specifically, but getting a nice physical damage bonus from multi-shot and a physical damage bonus from Guided Arrow is certainly nice. I can definitely see a couple new builds forming around Strafe, multi-shot, and Guided Arrow, which could certainly be very, very interesting. The Assassin really didn't get much changed, but we did get an attack rating increase on Blade Fury. The Blade Fury really did need that attack rating increase. It really, really, really did. Really, really, really. What's up, Zetroy? Yes, Mr. Knees. I put him here on purpose so he could interfere with the stream. I hope you guys know that. That's his whole job. His whole job is to be the comedic, fluffy animal relief. That's his whole job in life. Barbarian got very interesting changes. I was actually really kind of excited for these changes on Barbarian. The first change that we got that was kind of like jaw-dropping as far as I'm concerned was Leap Attack got a 4.6 yard AoE damage. So it says Barbarian now deals extra physical damage to surrounding enemies within a range of 4.6 yards of landing from Leap Attack. And to give you an idea of how far that is, when you use Fireball. When you use Fireball. Fireball is an explosion effect, right? And it has about a radius of 4.4 yards. 4.4 yards, I think, is actually what it was actually calculated as, despite the fact that the tooltip doesn't display 4.4 yards. So it actually is 4.4. So we're talking about a AoE damage effect, which is very similar in range to a fireball explosion, which is going to make leap attack really quite powerful, especially if it scales with your weapon damage. So if you have like a really high damage weapon and you're leaping into a group of monsters, and that really high damage weapon is applying its damage to a 4.6 yard radius. Now I don't know how much damage this is going to be. We temper your expectations on this, because it could be a couple things. It could be a set amount of damage, which scales with level, similar to Warcry. It could be almost like a Warcry damage, where it's like it comes out and it's like a little, 200 damage or maybe like 300 damage or something. It might not be like your weapon damage. It could also be a percentage of your weapon damage, kind of the way that Blade Fury works. Like maybe it'll be like 25% weapon damage AoE around the landing point or something. It could also just simply be your full weapon damage applied as a 4.6 yard AoE. I don't really know. This is going to be something that we're definitely going to have to look at when the game launches. We also have the smoother trajectory and all that other stuff. So hopefully Leap is going to feel even smoother now than it did before. Mr. Ni, calm down. I know you like your new house. I know you do. Go in your little house then. He said, don't tell me what to do. He said, I'll bite. Stop looking down longfully at the floor. You're not going to the floor. Floor is off limits. The floor is lava, okay? The floor is literal lava, and if you touch it, it'll burn your little toes and you'll light on fire. Okay? The floor is lava. You can stay up here with me, but the floor is lava. That's right. And you're in a little lava boat over there. That's your little lava boat. It keeps you safe from the lava. He doesn't believe me at all. He said, floor is not lava. He said, I've checked it myself. My toes didn't burn. Dang. All you little fluffy things get stuck on me, sir. So, Sword Mastery to renamed to Blade Mastery. So this is really interesting and quite honestly one of the coolest changes, I think, in the entire patch. And there's been a lot of cool changes in the patch, okay? So when I say that this is one of the coolest changes in the patch, like, I really mean this is, like, super cool, because some of the other changes were really cool also. But this one is just nuts. I mean, they basically have kind of, like, gone outside the box here, and we're like, okay, we're going to change Sword Mastery to Blade Mastery, and Blade Mastery is also now going to work with daggers. So now you can literally use a whole bunch of, this has literally opened up a huge array of items to this particular skill. So there are tons and tons of items in Diablo 2 that are daggers, that are really nice daggers, that could be potentially very nice weapons for a barbarian, but you can't really do anything with them because they're, you didn't have any mastery before, so it was kind of silly to run daggers on a barbarian when, you could be running a sword or a mace or whatever and getting that attack rating and the damage and the critical strike bonus and all that other nice stuff. But now you can. So you can even run something like Flesh Ripper Fanged Knife. I don't know if I have my Flesh Ripper sitting around. I usually have at least one Flesh Ripper sitting around. I love that knife. But I'm pretty sure they're on my my other Paladin. The multitude of weapons, though, that this unlocks is really, really cool. They also increase the attack rating bonus for all of the skills, which I think is really cool as well. So every single one has a nice attack rating bonus from 30 to 44%, which is great. Any more attack rating on melee characters, honestly, is always a good thing, in my opinion, because attack rating is just such a understood statistic. It's also always not enough. Like, it's just never enough. Like, you never have enough attack rating. No matter how much attack rating you build, you always need more. And so having things like this buffed up so we have more attack rating is definitely nice. And then they threw in this freaking awesome change right here, which is the added chance to not consume quantity per level up to 50%. Critical strikes with throwing weapons now replenish quantity. So we've got two ways that the throwing items will replenish. I'm sure that we'll still run out because the Barbarian can throw some weapons at surprising speed, and this also means that when you miss, so if you're missing a target, if you don't actually hit the target, critical strikes are not going to happen. So you're not going to get that replenished quantity, and the chance to not consume quantity per level up to 50% still means that you're still going to be consuming throwing items. So it's just going to be 50% slower. Honestly, though, when I played a Barbarian, a throwing Barbarian, I would like literally just throw out every single item I had within minutes. And I'd have to run back to town and repair all the time. Even with like 2 or 3 different sets of throwing items. Usually at the very least 2, because I would swap back and forth between 2 sets. Quit it. Locked. Let's see. Druid got the Hurricane skill requirement removed from Armageddon, which is honestly one of the best changes that they could have ever done for Armageddon. Armageddon being tied behind Hurricane was a terrible, terrible design choice and always has been. And quite honestly, is just an amazing thing to see that finally get removed. The other interesting thing here is that they beefed up Armageddon a bit, so they increased the radius of the explosions, and they also increased the speed at which they drop, right? So if you guys are unaware, Armageddon is actually the ability that Uber Diablo uses. So Uber Diablo has a permanent Armageddon, which is always around him. And when you fight him, it does do a pretty significant amount of fire damage. You usually need pretty good fire resistance to fight Uber Diablo, because without it, he will just kind of shred through your resistances. So he's going to be a little bit tougher now. Uber Diablo is going to be a little bit more tough. Maybe you might want to bring along a Rising Sun amulet or something, just in case, because with a 30% increase in his drop rate of the fire attacks and a 33% increase in the radius, that means you're going to be getting hit a lot more often with Armageddon than you were previously. So definitely keep that in mind. Mr. NiNi is mad that I shut the door. Are you going to be good? Because if you're not going to be good, I'm going to keep it shut. That's right. He said, "What is good?" He said, he says, "Is chewing on everything that you own good? Because I can do that." He said, "I know how to chew on stuff." He said, I'm good at chewing." So we got some werewolf changes, and I'm kind of concerned about these. So they changed werewolf attack speed calculation back to the new attack speed calculations, the ones that everybody hated. However, they also raised the werewolf attack speed cap from 75% to 150%. So I'm not sure if this counters what they did. So whatever it is that they did before didn't work out right. And I'm assuming that with this cap increase, the speed cap increase, that maybe we will see the calculations be more similar to what they were before. I'm hoping that's the case, because I definitely don't want to see people having their werewolves like nerfed into oblivion. The bear, on the other hand, I'm actually considering making a bear at this point, because that is kind of nuts. The werebear now only uses the new attack speed calculation. Raise the werebear attack speed cap from 75 to 150%. Damage bonus per level increased from 8 to 15%. Base defense value increased from 25 to 40%. Defense bonus per level from 6% to 10%. And then also this line right here, which I think is probably the most chilling of the lot, is that now the werebear cannot be interrupted while performing attacks or skills. So the werebear is going to be this sort of like impossibly broken, sort of just tanky monster at this point. They've beefed up his defense, they've beefed up his damage, they even beefed up his attack speed. So his attack speed has gone up 3% per charge from Maul. So Maul will now give him an attack speed bonus. which is just kind of nuts. Not only is he going to be faster than he was before, his attacks are not going to be interruptible. His defense is going to be through the roof. His damage is going to be higher. And hopefully his speed will be the same as it was before, because if it's not, that'll be sad. But with the attack speed increase, I'm kind of interested now in building a bear druid. You might see one of my next new characters be a bear druid, because this uninterruptible right here just is super duper sexy. The Necromancer didn't really get very many buffs at all. He just got some increases to his golem damage, which he definitely did need. He definitely does need the increases to his golem damage. I'm not really sure if 20% is going to be enough, but it's interesting. Maybe start ladder with a bear. As a big bad bear, as a mighty big bear, as a big bad bear indeed. He mad at me. He turned right back around. He said, "Boy," "don't make me fight you." Paladin. Paladin got a lot of changes. I don't even understand. Thorns got kind of fixed. I knew Thorns was going to get fixed because it didn't work right. It didn't. It really didn't work right in PTR. We also got a renewal of the Holy Fire, Holy Freeze, and Holy Shock buffs. I'm kind of interested to see how these work. It sounds to me like with this tooltip, this line right here, it says will now deal 200% to enemy damage to enemies at melee range. So it sounds to me like they have severely decreased the 200% damage bonus to basically only being at enemies within melee range. So it no longer is going to do like 200% damage to someone who's like 15 yards away. I can only assume that it was scaling improperly before, where it was probably applying nearly 200% to monsters that were quite a ways away for no particular reason. And this is not obviously a good thing in any way, shape, or form for it to be applying that 200% damage bonus to monsters that are not within melee range. So hopefully they fix this properly so that it actually is applying to only in melee range, and the monsters that are, like 10, 15 yards away are only getting the regular damage, amount. Because that will probably fix a lot of the issues that people had with the way that the skill worked. This one right here is a huge one, and I'm actually pretty excited about this. So the Holy Bolt and the Fist of the Heavens, which also has Holy Bolt, by the way, will now damage demons as well as undead monsters. So this is actually a pretty huge buff for characters who would actually like to try and play a Fist of the Heavens Paladin. Not only has Fist of the Heavens gotten recently buffed, the delay was reduced quite significantly, and I believe the synergies were adjusted a little bit, but now we also have a pretty huge change to Holy Bolt, which now makes it viable against demons, which is going to be pretty darn nice. Let's see here. They didn't really do much to Sorceress except for give her a slight mana reduction cost in Nova. Nova is a really mana intensive skill, and honestly reducing the mana on that probably is a good idea. They didn't really reduce it very much, but it's reduced. The initial cost is reduced from 13 to 15, which is kind of tiny. Look here, sir. No. Here, go in there. Go in there. Go in there. Kill it there. There. I got a shirt monster, guys. I got a shirt monster. Ow! Don't bite. Shirt monsters are not allowed to bite. So these mercenary buffs were ridiculous. I'm actually really excited about both of these. So the rogue being able to use Amazon bows and Amazon skill bonuses is going to be pretty massive, especially if it allows her to get, for instance, like exploding arrow, maybe even critical strike from like something like the rune word, the peace rune word, I believe is what it's called. There's a lot of different things that have like Amazon only skill bonuses, which could definitely come in handy for a bow girl, and I'm actually kind of excited about this. especially the Amazon-only bows, because they have things like +3 bow and crossbow skills. They have like specific bonuses, like Ravenclaw, for instance, has what is it, +3 and +3, so it's like +6 to Immolation Arrow or some crazy thing like that. I don't know if she's actually going to get Immolation Arrow. I doubt that, but at least she'll still get the +2 skills on there that she wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Not really sure about this swapping frozen armor for chilling armor. This seems like kind of an odd choice to me. Chilling armor is, in my opinion, the lesser armor. So if you guys are unaware of how they work, one of them freezes targets, one of them is the high defense one, and the other one actually shoots at monsters that are shooting at you in ranged. And I'm not really sure why they switched it to chilling. What's up, Deviant Brute? I've been on Twitch. I always dual stream on Twitch, Deviant Brute. Always, well, always if it works. And then freaking Barbarian skill bonuses here. So we've got the Barbarians going to get the skill bonuses from gear now. But then this one is the really awesome one here. So they added a Frenzy Barbarian. So we're going to be able to hire a Frenzy Barb Merc that has Frenzy, Taunt, and Iron Skin, which is freaking nuts. So this is going to be super duper fun. I'm actually kind of excited to test out this character, maybe even not just from like a damage perspective, but you know, putting on, for instance, multiple items that give auras. So he could be running like an Azure Wrath for Sanctuary, and then he could be running. Trying to think here. You know, like, there's a lot of different options. I mean, and most people aren't going to have access to a what's the term? Last Wish. They're not going to have access to Last Wish, but that does have Might Aura on it. There's a lot of different items, like weapons in the game, that have auras on them. You could even put 2 Azure Wraths on here and stack the Sanctuary Aura, and he could be running, what is it, like level 30 Sanctuary or something crazy like that. Yeah, you could put Plague on there as well. Now, we also got changes to the 2 new rune words. So Plague is now going to be used in claws and daggers, in addition to swords, which is pretty awesome. We also have Infinity, Obedience, and Pride can now be used by spears and Amazon spears. So Fend Amazons and Impale Amazons rejoice, because we have some buffs to our usable items. Putting an Infinity on a like a lightning spears on would be absolutely insane, in my opinion. And that's just going to be super duper fun, having the ability to run Conviction on your spears on. And I think that could actually make some spears-ons as very viable group partners. This is pretty cool too. The increased to unique monster density. I was actually pretty excited about this. That means that these new level 85 zones that we went over in the previous video, they're going to be a lot more dense now than they were before. So that's going to be fun. This one, they keep doing this one over and over again, so who knows if they actually did a good job. But it definitely would be nice if things like iron golems and stuff like that would not despawn upon, you know, running around. Deviant Brute, you gonna make a throw barb? Throw barbs are super updated now. They got super duper better skills. Super duper pooper. What else did we have here? We had a couple like sleepers in here. They were things that were kind of hidden, and they definitely are going to make some interesting changes. What are you chewing on back there? Just because you got a little summer house in the Hamptons up here doesn't mean you can be a bully. You heard me, no bullying. He's a bully. So they fixed an issue where attack speed while dual wielding could be incorrectly calculated depending on which hand it was held in or which order they were equipped in. So this is something that's been in the game for a long time. A lot of people were almost completely unaware of it. Only the people who really like mained barbarians were ever really super in the know on this. And it had to do with dual wield and how dual wield was calculated using various like which weapon was equipped first and what hand the weapon was in and all this other bull crap. And so hopefully what they're saying here is that they fixed it, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. You don't have to put your weapons on in any specific order anymore, because that always seemed rather silly to me. Trying to see here. There was a couple other interesting ones, like this one right here. I'm not really sure what they did to Sanctuary Aura, so we're going to have to take a look at that, especially given the fact that we now have the ability to do a dual-wield Sanctuary Barbarian. And I'm not really sure how what they're doing with this one. Sanctuary reduces the physical damage that the physical resistance of undead monsters, and this allows you to get off more damage to to undead monsters in general. But they're saying that they made it grant its bonus damage. So I'm hoping this means that they didn't fix the negative physical, because the negative physical was like the only thing that was good about Sanctuary in the first place. But if now it adds its bonus damage as well to undead, maybe this could be a rather interesting combo here. What you want, little buddy? Come up here and sit with me and be good. This was always an issue for me, so I always had an issue with Sacrifice not working properly. I don't know why, but I could never get Sacrifice to work right. I even built a Sacrifice Paladin at one point, and it was just awful. Like my attacks were always missing, and I could never figure out what the hell was going on with Sacrifice. I am very interested to see what Sacrifice is doing now that it's supposedly been fixed. This is something that I think's been in the game for like 2 decades. It's never been fixed. So I'm kind of interested to see what the hell's going on there. These two right here have to do with your character being interrupted when he shouldn't be interrupted, which is very interesting. So there are a lot of situations apparently where your character is getting interrupted where they shouldn't be, and these are apparently fixes for that. So we've got the 2 fixes on these 2 great things, which honestly sounds really awesome to me. And this one in particular had to do with uninterruptible skills. So there are certain skills in the game that are uninterruptible that apparently were getting interrupted, like in certain situations. Where's that other one? This one is pretty fun too. Fixed an issue where the skills granted by items sometimes couldn't be used on a controller. This one right here. Fixed an issue where skill bindings for O skills wouldn't persist after dying and joining a new game. So this is a good one in my opinion. I don't know if you guys have ever bound an O skill. Doesn't matter what it happens to be, whether it's Enigma, whether it's a like enchant from a demon limb or whatever it may be. Having it disappear on a regular basis was never a good thing. So that's actually a pretty good change. They finally fixed Lord Decease's seal. Lord Decease had that seal that was hard to click on. That one was pretty cool. I've actually had that happen a whole bunch of times on stream even. This one is rather interesting because this goes to the whole like missing characters or missing when moving or whatever. And they're talking about a bunch of different skills. So Zeal, Sacrifice, Druid Fury, and Amazon Fend, all of which got some nice buffs to that. The physical skills, honestly, that's one of the biggest issues with physical skills is they miss all the time for no reason. And yeah, well, sometimes it wouldn't even work though. But having the skills hit more often when they're actually supposed to be hitting is definitely a good thing. I'm happy to see that, especially since I like to use Zeal Paladins, and I want to use a Fend Amazon in the upcoming patch. That's going to be an interesting one. And let's see here. There was one more here. Fixed an issue where a player could get repeatedly placed in a stun state and unable to execute attacks. So they fixed a kind of a stun lock situation, which probably shouldn't have happened. Da, da, da. What are you squonking for? Calm it down. Calm it down, Tutti Frutti. Calm it down, Tutti Frutti. A Tutti Frutti. Oh, Rudy. A Tutti Frutti. Oh, Rudy. Fixed an issue where replenishing and propagation item modifiers were not triggering when quantity was removed from melee skills. Interesting. So, kind of translate that a little bit if you're not sure what the hell that means, because I was a little awkward on that as well. So basically what they're saying is that if you were using a Titan's Revenge or a Lacerator, and you use it in a melee form, so let's say you're a Barbarian and you use your Lacerators in Frenzy, and Frenzy removes durability, or rather quantity, off of your Lacerator. It's basically saying that the regeneration is not being triggered if the quantity was removed from a melee skill. So they fixed that now. So that basically, if you remove quantity with a melee skill, you're going to get a regeneration right away, which could explain why a lot of Barbarians were having so much trouble with certain abilities, because I know a lot of throwing Barbarians tend to dual spec into Frenzy because it just makes sense. You got double throw, you got double swing, you got double, the Frenzy, which also has the dual wield capability. So we've got a lot of stuff going on there with two weapons, and it just always made sense, especially since there was a synergy bonus between the two. They really kind of worked out well together. And so good that that's fixed. Where's the other one that was interesting here? I think I may have missed it. Oh yeah, this one. Fixed an issue that could cause players to miss their attack when using melee skills against enemies that are just barely within striking range and moving away. I don't know if you guys have ever encountered this, but this is probably one of the most frustrating things that I've ever encountered in Diablo, like bar none. They'll be like a skeleton mage or like a throwing, item monster or whatever it may be, and they're just like slowly walking away from you. Just like this. And you run up and you try and hit them, and it misses because they're still slowly walking away from you. And no matter how fast you run up and try and smack them, like, it just automatically misses because by the time your attack actually swings, they've walked outside of your range. And so it's just constantly you just chasing the monster, and the monster just slightly being outside of range, and then you miss, and then slightly being outside of range, and you miss, and slightly being outside of range, and you miss. And it gets so annoying that literally it can get to the point where you just like scream at the monitor. You're like, ah! Like trigger some sort of like God mode activate and like run in front of them and try and hit them. And half the time, even if you run in front of them and try and hit them, they literally just like start walking in the opposite direction and it starts over again. So good to see that's fixed. Good to see. Mr. NiNi, what is going on with you? I know you're excited. You're so excited. You got a house in the Hamptons. You got your own little house over here. You got your own little food bowl, your own little water bowl. You got 2 houses now. How many chinchillas got 2 houses? None. Except for you, Mr. Knees. Got 2 houses, Mr. Knees. Go play in your house. Go play in your house. Let's see. What other interesting things do they have here? They had a bunch of really interesting stuff in here that that was not quite talked about. It's just kind of like there, and you don't really say much about it. This one right here has been in the game for a long time. This bug fixed an issue where fire enchanted monsters were doing too much damage in nightmare difficulty. So that one right there is apparently the freaking fire enchanted monsters in Nightmare could just one shot you for no reason. So that's been adjusted, thankfully. This one right here is rather interesting too. Fixed an issue where continuing to move after running out of stamina could cause the stamina bar not to refill. So when the game first launched, they specifically told us, they were like, we're going to change it so that if you stop running, or if you walk while you're running, or if you walk while you're out of stamina, your stamina bar will refill. And I felt like it was the biggest lie in the world because it never actually worked. Because literally you would toggle the walk button to try and get your stamina to regen, and it wouldn't regen. You'd have to stop completely and then start walking again to make it work. And so hopefully that's been fixed completely now so that you can actually get your stamina to regenerate properly in the lower tiers. I make a lot of characters, so it's a pretty big issue for me. It's not a big issue for people who are playing high-level characters only because you don't really have to worry about it. But it's a big issue for me. Oh, it's just the holidays. Your envy is green. They didn't want to do anything during the holidays. That's all. Yes, but it was something that they wanted. They said that they fixed, Kyle. When they first released Diablo 2 Resurrected, they specifically touted that they had fixed it. They didn't just say they fixed it. They touted it, okay? They were like, you know that thing? So this is going to be interesting to see what ladder is going to be like. From the sound of it, it seems like we're going to get kind of like a temporary treasure chest. A temporary like stash tabs. We'll probably have 3 temporary stash tabs is what it looks like, and all of our items will be in those temporary stash tabs until it says 1 ladder after the original. So you're probably going to have about 4 months, if that 4 months is a ladder time. So you're going to have 4 months to pull your items out of the ladder, which is a pretty fair amount of time. It's not terrible. I have no clue how they're going to do this. I'm interested to see what the hell they're doing, what they're thinking with this, because I feel like if they're going to do the entire region, they're going to make Annihilus charms like super easy to get, to the point where nobody wants to get them anymore. Because if literally like every single game that's online at that particular time gets an Uber Diablo, that's a lot of Uber Diablos. That's a lot of Annihilus charms. I mean, that is just a massive number. Just sheer number, right? Just massive. And they've got to do something to curtail the massive number of Annihilus charms. I'm curious as to what they're going to plan. Are they going to increase the number of Sojas required? That could be an interesting option. Are they going to maybe make it so that Uber Diablo doesn't always drop an Annihilus charm? Maybe it'll be like a 1 in 5 chance or something that he drops an Annihilus charm. That could be interesting and make it not guaranteed. They didn't really give us a lot of details here, so popcorn. I like popcorn. Cax, you better give me some of that popcorn. What kind of seasoning you got on there? You got the good butter salt. You got the. If you don't got the good butter salt, I don't want none. Okay, this is important. This is importante. Mr. Nee! I don't even have Worldstone Keep. What the hell is wrong with me? I don't even have Worldstone Keep. I am gonna kill you with my hammer. Die. I need my Merkalurk. Well, my Holy Freeze Paladin is gonna get a buff, so that's nice. My Holy Freeze Paladin, yes. Yes, yes. All you die. You die. You die. You die. You die. You die. Dirk, the Dirk Diggler. So I wonder how close melee range is going to be considered, right? Because a max range weapon is still pretty large. Like if we were to go by specific weapon ranges, right? So like a cryptic axe is a very long range weapon. There are some very, very long range weapons in the game that can hit from relatively far away. And, Kyle, my Holy Freeze Paladin is doing just fine, okay? Stop poo-pooing on things that don't need poo-pooed on. They do not need extra poo-poo. They don't need grey poupon. The Grey Poupon. +2 Necro with +1 Bone Prison. Oh, that's my skeleton. I'm like, whose skeleton is that? Mine. It's my skeleton. My skeleton. So we got the Zoo Druid. I didn't even talk about that. Did I even talk about the Zoo Druid? I don't know if I talked about the Zoo Druid. Let's go talk about the Zoo Druid real quick, because I don't know if I said anything about the Zoo Druid. So this right here, this little line right here. Let me make sure that's on the screen. That's kind of nuts. It's kind of ridiculously nuts. So if you guys have never thought about this before, think about like having a druid who's running like full ravens, full wolves. He's got the bear, he's got the spirit wolves, the dire wolves. He's got basically 5 spirit wolves. He's got so 5 spirit wolves, 3 dire wolves, 1 bear, 5 ravens, right? So and then of course he also gets the spirit. And he could potentially get a carrion vine or something like that, depending on his own personal preferences. But you could basically be running what? That's 1 for the vine, 2 for the spirit, right? And then we got 5, so 6, 7. So 7 with the ravens. We got another 5, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we've got 3 wolves, so 13, 14, 15. And then the bear, which is 16. So you got a total of 16 minions. With the druid, if you potentially want to do a full zoo druid, it could be very interesting. The full zoo druid, and of course you could also sub him with something else. I've always felt like a zoo druid with rabies was the best option, because rabies is a very laid back skill, and you could just kind of rely on your army to do the work, and then just tag some rabies here and there for it to work into play. And then that would also tie in with the poison creeper. So the poison creeper could be your vine. The poison creeper actually does pretty massive amounts of poison damage now compared to what he did previously, and could be a very good addition to the Zoo Druid. It's all very, very interesting. With his entire army, maybe, Michael. With his entire army, maybe. I do think that the Zoo Druid is probably going to be a little bit lacking, since it doesn't have Corpse Explosion or anything like that. Of course, you could always run like Corpse Morn or something like that and spam Corpse Explosions from the charges. Full Zoo Rabies Druid, let's go. I don't know. Uninterruptible bear sounds pretty sexy at this point. I'm actually kind of really excited about the uninterruptible bear. I always had a dream of making a, like, just super tank bear. Like, that was the whole plan, was just, like, make a bear that was so tanky that God himself couldn't destroy him. And then, and like, the uninterruptibility on the bear's attack, combined with all the defense bonuses, the attack speed increase, and everything, might actually make the bear a really, really fun build. That could be a very, very fun build. I'm trying to think, like, exactly what kind of character I'd build with that, but, Superior Hurlbrand. Basically, yeah. If you're a bear who's running Fireclaw, then you have a uninterruptible Fireclaw. Think about this also, Kyle. The bear has Shockwave, which is a stun, which means that he now has an uninterruptible stun. So before, he could potentially be interrupted while he was using Shockwave, and now he can no longer be interrupted while he's using Shockwave. Yeah, I'd be fine with Fireclaw having a sort of like a pulse effect like Holy Fire. I think that would actually be in line with the skill. Dude, these little skeletons don't even have enough health to take but like 1 or 2 pulses of my my aura. Chungus Disciple. You haven't bought the game yet, boy? What are you thinking about, boy? What are you doing on there selling this for? Come on in there and play some Diablo. Come on in and play some Diablo. We got lots of stuff for Diablo. We gonna give you everything that you want it for.
I can't.
He can't. Classic D2 nerds. The nerdiest of nerds. He moved into hyper nerdism. Ain't nothing wrong with being a nerd. It's 8 to men. I'm really excited to see what the hell this leap attack AoE damage is. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up and expect it to be more than it is, because I could be, you know, thinking that it's more than it actually is, and I don't want that to happen. But at the same time, I also kind of want to get my hopes up and hope that it's something amazing, because you know, it's just it could be amazing. I don't think it's going to be so broken as it's going to be like full damage or anything. I think at best we're going to get like a partial damage AoE. So it may be like, I don't know, like 50% of your weapon damage or something like that. I doubt it's going to be the full amount. It may even be something more similar to the way that like Blade Fury used to work, where it was like a percentage of your weapon instead of like the full damage of your weapon. So it didn't actually function as the full effect. So you kind of had to deal with the penalties. Kind of the same way that multi-shot and strafe have penalties on them, or, you know, used to anyway. I think multi-shot still has its penalty, but strafe doesn't have its penalty anymore. Mr. Nice, I'm gonna have to politely ask you to cease and desist all florular activities.
I am overburdened.
He said florular. What the hell is a florular? I'm gonna have to get a Mr. NiNi cam. It's just gonna be a camera that points at Mr. NiNi. Maybe I'll just do a Mr. NiNi live stream. It'll just stay up all the time. Mr. NiNi! Yeah, Barb is getting some pretty huge attack rating bonuses, but honestly, they deserve it. I mean, why should Barbarian have any kind of attack rating issues whatsoever? Barbarian is supposed to be the master of weapons. They're supposed to be able to hold a weapon in their hand with maximum mastery, and they're supposed to be just like godlike with this weapon even before any skills are added. And Heaven's Light, Kyle. Before anything else is added, they're supposed to already be godlike. With 2 cold facets. Die. Die. Super duper die, super duper die, super duper 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 die, super duper die, super duper die, super duper 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 die. Mr. NiNi, Mr. NiNi, what are you doing, Mr. NiNi, Mr. NiNi, Mr. NiNi? Why are you being so mean to me? Stop trying to jump down. I can see you. You know I can see you, right? I can see you. Go back in your house. Go. You're being rambunctious.
Afternoon.
I mean, they didn't go 10 years without updates. Your envy is green. I mean, this was a game that was basically ransomware or abandonware. A Diablo 2 is basically abandonware. I don't know if you guys know that, but like, Diablo North was the company that made it. The company that made it got disbanded. It's still technically owned by Diablo. I mean, by Blizzard, but Blizzard didn't really know what the hell to do with the game. Like, it wasn't their game. They didn't make it. Blizzard didn't make the dang game. And so it ended up in this really odd situation where it was basically almost ransomware, or sorry, abandonware. And for like 10 years, it hasn't had a freaking development team. It hasn't had anything. Like, there's been nothing. You can't really say that they haven't made any changes in 10 years because there was nobody to make changes. There was nobody. And now, finally, we have a team that has been put together, a new game that has been put together, new sales and stuff like that. So they actually have a team, you know, money to pay the team and so forth and so on. And that kind of stuff is different. So this is the first time that we've actually had a team in place for Diablo 2 in like a decade. Mr. Nee, Kyle said that flying squirrels are better than Chinchillas. What do you have to say about that? I'm pretty sure he said, Kyle, you can go yourself. Something about F this and F that, and yeah, he was not kind about that. Not at all. Not at all. I don't want to translate because I might get banned. Don't want to translate. No un translatio. Have I already done crystalline? I have not done Crystalline in Hell. Well, on our way to get murdered by some lightning monsters. Gonna shoot us in the face with lightning bolts. I don't wanna die, but I want my resistances, cause they make me tankier, and I like that. Hybrid Paladins? Doesn't it take a lot of point investment to build Fist of the Heavens anyway? I remember testing out several Fist of the Heavens sort of builds, you know, not necessarily like specifically, I'm not really sure how to put it. I just remember it being very difficult to build Fist of the Heavens properly. Like, it just takes a really heavy point investment, and there's not a lot else that you can do. I want to be the gloamiest there ever was. I'm gonna shoot lightning bolts at your face from 1,000 miles away. And I will travel across the land, invisible to your eye. Bow, bow, bow. I sneak up on you and kill you dead with a laser beam to your forehead. Glow me gloams.
Evening.
Oh, we're so cool. You just wish you had our gloomy powers. Oh, we're the best gloams in a world that doesn't have gloams. Gloomitron. We're gonna kill them all. Gotta kill them all. Stop murdering my mercenary. He doesn't deserve your ire. Oh my god, there's so many globes. Walk around the corner and there's just like an infinite number of globes murdering your soul. Oh my god, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Gloam, where are you at? Gloam, I can't see you. Die, Gloam. Kuros shield. Yeah, +1 summoning skills, Necro, with +6 dex. Oh, yeah. Mr. NiNi, are you mad at me? He looks like he's mad at me. I can tell when he's mad at me. What did I do, Mr. Ni? What did I do? Mr. Ni. Mr. Ni does not want to talk to me right now. He said, I'm not talking to you. He said, your butt's ugly. Got one of them ugly butts. Gen Z? What are you talking about? Why do you take so long to explain armor in set videos? I mean, I watch them, but damn dude, 30 minutes for 3-piece set. It seems extreme. I mean, yes and no. I mean, the fact of the matter is that a lot of the times there's some cool stuff to talk about. If you want to skip around in the video, feel free to skip around in the video. My videos are all relatively long. I hate to tell you, Paul, but my videos are all relatively long. I am long-winded. I am one of those long-winded individuals. And I have tried to make my stuff as brief as possible. It just does not work. It's just not my style. It is just not my style. Heck, the 40-minute patch notes earlier was already cutting it close. I'm like, dang, this is a full-length movie just about. Dang it, I forgot my merc. The beauty of my videos, though, is if you haven't paid attention, is that they're formatted so that you can listen. Okay? They're formatted so that you can listen. You don't necessarily have to watch, right? So if you're at work, if you're driving your car, if you're, you know, like if you're at work, you can put me on your earbud and you can listen while you're at work. And for the most part, you don't necessarily have to watch the screen. I do my best to read off everything because I want you guys to be able to listen. A lot of people like to listen while they're driving, or listen while they're running, or listen while they're at work. And it you know, I'm not going to tell anybody that you're watching while you're at work. I promise. What the hell is a histrionic? Why are sloppy joes so good? I don't know. It's been a while since I've had a sloppy joe. I'm on PS5 and can't seem to find players to co-op with. What would you recommend as a solo build to clear hell and content in 2.4? I mean, if you want, there's a guy in here. He was literally just here. Deviant Brute. Deviant Brute is on PS5, but he has a group running too. You might be able to hop on there with him and kind of find some friends. But what kind of character are you? You didn't say. You just want a build. I mean, honestly, Summon Necromancer can clear the entire game by himself. He doesn't need any help from anybody. I've never had issues clearing the game with a Summon Necromancer. If you build them properly, they can pretty much handle all content without issue. God, that is a lot of lightning. You know what the worst thing is about the freaking the Gloams too is that they steal your mana. So if the fact that they're ripping your health away into non-existence is not enough, they also steal your mana in the process. No, my Mercatron. You know, I didn't do so bad for a zone that is completely full of immune to cold monsters. I'll be honest with you. I think I did pretty well. I mean, this zone was completely full of immune to cold monsters the whole way through, and I still did pretty well. My Merc died over and over again, but, you know, there's nothing really I could do about that. You know, when I first time I played my Wind Druid in Hell difficulty, I went to Den of Evil and I tried to kill Corpse Fire. And Corpse Fire is always immune to cold, by the way, and he was also immune to physical, and I couldn't kill him. I literally could not complete the Den of Evil quest on my Summon Druid, and it was very sad. I was like, I have no way to kill this guy. I literally have no way to kill this guy at all. I'm trying my best to get some of this stuff out of the way, which I didn't do on this character. I'm trying to finish him off. He's pretty solid. I need a Nightwing's Veil. That's like the only thing that I really need to finish him off completely. But I'm certainly not gonna cry about having a Shaco. I stole the Shaco from my Necromancer though, who's gonna want it back. He's like, boy, you better give me that Shaco. You think you can just walk away with my gear? Yes, Mr. Nee. What you want? What you want, what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna raisin from that bag over there. Really, really, really want a raisin. Gonna chew it up to see. I really like them raisins. Gonna eat them all just for me. We can be friends forever if you give me a raisin. I just want a couple, put 'em in my hand. I tell you what I want, I really, really want. I want a big, big raisin in my hand. I ain't giving up my slots for freaking TP scrolls in my belts. No sirree. Track 5, Raising Hell. That's right. Mr. NiNi, do you want a treat or no? What do you want? You want like a peanut or something? I got some peanuts. You want a peanut? Peanut? Oh, you dropped it. Don't drop the peanuts. Well, fine. Don't get a peanut then. Peanuts are us, boy. Oh. I remember when beta or alpha launched. I didn't get access to alpha, and I was very sad. But I did watch some people who did have access to alpha, and there was this one guy who had absolutely no clue how to play the game. Dude was a complete noob. I'm not sure if he'd ever touched Diablo 2 in his life, and he kept complaining about having to go into his inventory to open up a scroll town, a town portal, and how he wanted to bind the scroll town portal to one of his abilities or skill or whatever. And so I walked him through the process of binding a skill, which was excruciating, by the way. Like having to explain to him how to bind his skill. I don't even understand why it was so difficult. Like even after I told him how to do it, he still didn't know how to do it, and he was constantly like making these like comments like, "It doesn't work, see," and then would like click the mouse 1,800 times. And then when he finally managed to do it, when he finally managed to figure it out, dude was just popping TP scrolls left and right every 5 seconds. He'd be in the middle of a battle and he would panic and he would just hit like every button on the keyboard, and you'd see the frickin' Scroll of Town portal pop up like 18 times. Like he would literally be just like it looked like this. Like it was literally like this. As he like flailed about just like spamming teleports. And I couldn't. I just started laughing. I couldn't. I just couldn't handle it. Like he literally spent all that time to bind it to a button, and then he would like spam the button by accident like 1,800 times. All right. So we found what we needed to find. So let's get out of here. I was looking for the waypoint. I don't have any waypoints here for some reason. Mr. NiNi! Mr. NiNi, you need a house in there, Mr. NiNi. Mr. NiNi, would you like a friend? Would you like a pig? Would you like a Mr. Pig? I mean, I'm sorry, not a pig, sorry. Would you like a cow? Would you like a secret cow in here with you? You want a little cow? Cows keep you company? Yes, that's a cow. He's got ears and horns. And you better not chew his ears or his horns off. He's very soft. Just like you. He's very soft. He got softest. Yeah, I use quick cast. I'm using quick cast right now with Holy Shield. I don't use quick cast like a super duper ton. Oh, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. A cracker shell, Bovina, embrace what you want. I already got like 17 of these. Oh no. Anybody wants this, you're more than welcome to it. I'll drop it on the ground in town. This is game name GGM1 password 16, I'm pretty sure. GGM1 password 16 if you want that Mavinas. The Mav. Don't be rude to Mr. Cow, okay? Don't be rude to him. He ain't do nothing to you. Mr. Cow did not do nothing to you. He said he's in my house and I don't like it. Oh, Chinchilla, Chinchuchi. I told you, Chinchilla, the floor is lava, okay? The floor is literal lava. You're not allowed on the floor. No. Don't do it. I never expected that I would make real money off the game, Kyle, but I am. And without having to sell any items. Probably the best part. Is it gonna be an evil urn? Look at all them skeletons. They going to shoot you with their spelly rounds. Gonna hit you in the face with an ice ball or a blast. Gonna make you think you fell into the past. Kyle is Kung Fu Dugong. He changes his name all the time. But he will always be a Kyle. Always will he be a Kyle. He cannot outrun his Kyle-ness. It will chase him down forever and ever. Until the end of time. Time. Yes. What if he's really Cartman? Sounds like he needs to get me some more viewers then.
Screw you guys! I'm going home. I'm going home. My kitty's being a dildo. No, kitty. No, my chicken pot pie.
I used to love watching the frickin' South Park back in the day.
Bad kitty pie. No, kitty, chicken pot pie.
I'm immune to physical. What the hell damage am I dealing? All I got is physical and cold. Bink, 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 bink. That's a dang old Mr. NiNi. Head is a dang old Mr. Knee. He's a dang old Mr. NiNi. He's a dang old Mr. Knee. Mr. Knee, 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 knee. Mr. NiNi, knee. I swear he's mad at me. Like sometimes he'll look at me and he just has this really grumpy look on his face. Like he's like, "You bastard. You gonna get it on your chick toes while you're sleeping." It's a little scary, actually. I feel like if he was bigger than me, he would totally be a bully. Like he would just be a bully. Straight up bully. But he's like a little bully, and he's not bigger than me, so he can't be a bully to me, but he wants to be a bully to me, and so, like, it confuses him. See him come over and punch me in the eye. I'm not sure if he likes his house. I'm not sure.
It's locked.
What's up, Peter Vico? What's up, man? Dang, 3 to Decrepify, 3 to Blood Golem, but only 1 socket. That's still worth 35k easy, though. I do not know, Matt Soko. They didn't really say. But you know what's interesting about the way that they worded it is they said, we've increased the attack rating by 10%, right? Well, Blade Fury doesn't give attack rating. It doesn't give attack rating at all. Like, not even a little bit. Is my little buddy a chinchilla? Yes, it is a chinchilla 0. 0 under 1. His name is Mr. Nimoy, and he's a good little boy. Come here, buddy. Come here. He said, don't tell me what to do. He said, you don't tell me what to do. He said, I'll bite your hands. They wants to see you come here and stop being the poopy head. That's right. Come up here for a second. He's not even going to turn around to face the camera. He said, no, I'm going back in my house. You can't tell me what to do. Legit. Too legit. Too legit, too quick. That's too legit. Mini-map in the middle of the screen. I don't have the mini-map in the middle of the screen. It's up at the top right. Ooh, an Archon plate. Jeweler's Archon plate of the whale! Oh, it's an of the whale, but not an Archon, not a Jeweler's of the whale. Sadness. So sad. I wonder if that could be re-rolled properly into a Jeweler's Archon plate of the whale. See, now it's got me wondering.
I can't carry it.
That's right. You've probably been whistling it. I've been whistling it. I'll be literally just be like, I'll be at work and I'll just be whistling the tune, and I can't for the life of me stop. I don't even know I'm whistling it half the time. What's up, Joseph? Jeweler's Archon plate of the whale.
Salutations.
Stop trying to jump down floor lava. The floor is lava.
At your service.
That's right. Lava floor. I hate that. When you have a sandwich and you bite into it and the first freaking bite is bread. That's the worst. Like, not even any mayonnaise or anything or condiment of any kind. Just bread. I'd be like, sometimes if you go to Taco Bell, they'll make your burrito like terribly wrong. And if you're wondering how the hell you can make a burrito wrong, you can't. All right, so let's talk about this for a second because I love talking about silly things like this. So burritos have to be made in layers, and if you don't make it properly, what happens is all the bean will go down to the bottom of the burrito, like the sour cream will be like another layer, and then like the cheese will be like another layer, and the meat will be like all up at the top. And like I've had quite a few times where I've gotten like a burrito from Taco Bell where literally you bite into it and it's literally just like all sour cream at the top. And then, like, by the time you get to the end of the burrito, it's literally, like, entirely bean. Like, there's nothing at the bottom but bean. And there's no mix to any of the elements of the burrito. Like, they're supposed to be mixed together. So you get, like, every time you take a bite, you get a little bit of bean, you get a little bit of meat, you get a little bit of cheese, you get a little bit of sour cream. No, these horribly terrible put-together burritos are just, like, the worst examples of burrito-manship that ever burritoed burrito land. And like you bite into them and you want to gag because you like bite into like a huge chunk of bean with nothing else in it. It's just like a ice cream scoop of bean, and you're like, who puts together a burrito like this? They need to be fired. Fired. I want to get the waypoint. That's the entire reason why I'm doing this is just to go grab some waypoints, so I don't want to miss my waypoints. Look, Mr. NiNi, if you're gonna keep trying to jump down, we're gonna shut the door. That's how this is gonna work. Every time you try and jump down, we're gonna shut the door, and you're gonna get stuck. If you want freedom, you will be a good Chinchilla. If you don't want freedom, you can be a bad Chinchilla. He said, I will tear up your whole life and chew on everything you own and poop in your socks. He probably will, by the way. Is that it? Is that it? Oh, that's not it. Oh, it is it. Never mind. Ha. I remember one time I was at Taco Bell. I don't know if you guys can relate to this one. I ordered a Nacho Bel Grande, and I get my Nacho Bel Grande, and the chips don't really look all that good. Like they don't really look like they're the cream of the chips. And so I'm sitting there and I'm eating it, and like it's like the bottom of the bag chips. Like you know how like the salt from like all of the chips kind of falls off and like slowly pours to the bottom of the bag, and eventually when you get to the bottom of the bag, like the chips at the bottom have like all the salt on them, and then there's also like the remainder of the salt which pools at the bottom of the bag and in like an actual like little salt pile. The person who made my Nacho Bel Grande that day apparently just like poured the bag out into the bowl, and so not only did he pour out all the salty chips that were already in the bottom of the bag, but he also poured out all the salt from the bottom of the bag on top of the chips. And they were the saltiest chips that I've ever eaten in my life. It was like literally, you know that Futurama episode where Bender like literally puts like 90% of the like allowable salt limit on like some food or whatever, and they're trying to eat it, and it's so salty that literally like it's more salt than it is actual food. Like that's how it tasted. I did not actually. So I love salt. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll put salt on like everything. But I literally tried to eat them chips and I could not. And I walked up there and I'm like, ma'am, these things are so salty that I don't even think Jesus could eat these. I was like, and I love salt. Like I will literally pour salt on all my food. And every single freaking thing that I've got, I will pour salt on, and I can't stand this. I was like, could you please make me another one? Minimum wage? I don't think any of them make minimum wage anymore, Digital Shaman. I think you're kind of behind the times, sir. I'm pretty sure they're all making $13 an hour now or higher. I have put salt on ice cream, actually. One of the best things you can do with ice cream is go grab some, like, some Frito corn chips, and dip the Frito corn chips in the ice cream. It's absolutely delicious. The saltiness of the Fritos combined with the sweetness of the ice cream is absolutely delightful. Ow! Why are you so painful? Pain. Pain.
Good evening.
So, dipping fries in Frosties, that's something that my dad taught me a long time ago. But here's another one for you. Take the Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets and dip those in your Frosty. Mmm, freaking delicious. Freaking delicious. Pepper top opened up on your son. What did you do? Put like 18 gallons of pepper on your food? Mr. Nee is mad that I shut the door, by the way. Are you going to be good, Mr. Nee? If you're going to be good, I'll open the door. You better be nice to Mr. Cow. Don't you be mean to him. I'm just looking at him. He's freaking hilarious. I don't know what he's doing right now. He's like testing out all the bars. He's trying to see where he can escape.
Evening.
He's like, I can escape over here. I know it. There's a weak spot in the bars. You gonna be good? Let's try opening up the top. How about that? We'll open up the top. You ain't come out of the top yet, have you? There you go, fart face. Try that out. Opened up the top. I call him fart face. His name's fart face. These guys so painful. Banded. Oh, you figured it out, huh? Did you, Mr. Nee?
The summit.
You figures it out?
Barbarian holy ground.
Mr. Nee said, I figured it out. Don't tell me what to do. I'll beat your face in.
I can't. Impossible.
Oh, I haven't killed the ancients yet. Really? I haven't killed the ancients yet? Time to kill the ancients then, I suppose. Mr. NiNi, you see this crap? I ain't killed the ancients yet. Dang. Just bonk your head right into the door then. Okay. Mister can't stand up straight. Alright, hold on. You're going to stay in there for a minute while I kill the ancients. There. You're locked. We are the ancients. Oh, look, immune to cold. Oh, look, immune to cold. Oh, look, immune to lightning. You know what? You know what? Redo. Redo. How about not immune to everything? That would be good. Ah, immune to fire. Good, good, good. What's up, Talik? What's up, Tall-like? Ow. Why are you so painful, sir? Maddock, quit it with that Raz-Taz. Your freaking spectral hit. Jank's painful.
Thank you.
to lightning, immune to cold. Alright, I'm done. You can come out now, Mr. Knees. You got 2 doors. Learn the doors. He's squonking at me. He says, squonk, 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 squonk. What do you guys think? Should I beef up Holy Shield or should I beef up Sacrifice for more physical damage? I mean, I get, what is that? 10, 12% physical damage per point in Sacrifice. Or more points in Holy Shield to beef up my defense. My defense is only 7,366, which is a little low. You having fun breaking stuff over there? I see you balancing. Quit balancing. Trying to sneak. Sneaking sneaker. Squonk, 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 squonk. Oh, the weather outside is frightening, 'cause the paladin has holy freezing, and nobody is gonna be warm as long as the paladin is alive in the storm. Oh, your blizzard is really cute now, but I've got 85% cold res, and your mama's a hoe and she looks like snow. And I don't know where the song is going. Ow. This got so much elemental damage. Mr. NiNi, get off the top of your cage. No, Mr. NiNi, you're going to hurt yourself over there. Mr. NiNi, get down. Mr. NiNi, get down. Mr. NiNi, stop it. See, now you're being bad. I'm shutting the door. You're being bad, I'm shutting the door. You can't learn to behave, then you don't deserve a summer home in the Hamptons, okay?
Thank you.
You don't deserve a summer home in the Hamptons if you're not going to behave. That's right, you heard me. Somebody immune to freaking cold monsters here. Moving right along. Poison. Rude. Inside of a giant mountain. Yes, the new patch notes have come out, Chris C. I have a whole video on them. We actually just went over like everything in detail. unfortunately, I do have to work tomorrow, so I'm probably going to have to call this quits here eventually. I want to at least get Bale killed with my Holy Freeze Paladin. If you want to take a look at the patch notes, I do have... Where's that? Yeah, here it is. This is the... it's about 42 minutes long, I think, and it goes over all the patch notes from beginning to end. I talk about pretty much everything, too, so there's a lot to go over. Like, a lot. A lot. I also have the link there. The link to the patch notes is in there as well on the Blizzard website. So if you want to just take a look at the notes themselves without listening to me prattle on for 40 minutes, you can do that as well. Rattle forth. Sally forth. That's right, Mr. Knees. You are not coming out until you can behave. I don't know what kind of bug got in your butt. And you be nice to Mr. Cow. I don't think this guy's actually killed Hellbale yet. Not even once. I think he's kind of... This is his first time. So it'll be interesting to see how he does on Hellbale. It will be interesting indeed. Where's my jaw rune? Where's my Zod rune? I want my jaw rune dropping from the skeleton here. He gonna bring me everything that I fear, and then he's gonna drop me a jaw rune for me, so I can make something nice like infinity. I already have a Vengeance Paladin, Matsoka. I don't think Vengeance really needs any love, to be honest. It's already an extremely powerful skill. It doesn't do very well in AoE situations, and I understand that, but it's extraordinarily good single target damage. Just massive amounts of single target damage. I mean, you can actually build it so high that literally you're one-shotting the majority of monsters you ever come across. And granted, you do have to hit each one individually, but I mean, it's a massive amount of damage. Yeah, you have to build some form of mana regeneration, mana steel. I usually try and work in some kind of mana steel on my builds. It also helps if you get plus max damage charms. So if you build plus max damage charms, it really enhances your physical damage as well, which also helps your vengeance damage, obviously. But enhancing your physical damage increases the effectiveness of your stealing ability. So don't look at me like that. He just looked at me like that. You better open the door, or when you're sleeping, demon buttholes. Are you gonna be good? You don't look like you're gonna be good. You look like you're gonna be bad. I don't see a good chinchilla. I see a chinchilla who's rabid. You got a rabid chinchilla. Is it not rabid? Well, come on then, rabid chinchilla. Let's go. Come on. Come on, Mr. Rabid. Now you better be good. No jumping on top of your cage. Such a little turd. Should have never showed him he could get on top of his cage. Now that's all he wants to do is get on top of his cage. All he... Ooh, a Piscina.
Can't carry anymore.
Nice. Let's check this jewel real quick. Nope. Ethereal. Oh, not ethereal. Zekeppisna. Excellent item. I need to do a video on that one, actually. Mr. NiNi, no. No, Mr. Knees. You don't go up there with all of my stuffs. See, I told you being bad. You go back in your house. I see it, Mr. Bad Knees. The dark side of the knee. Dolls and amplify damage, none of which go well together. They do indeed. They got them little springy legs, that's why. Them little janks be springing. Hell rune. I'll take a hell rune. God, he's like chewing on the bars over here. You see him chewing on the bars over here? He's like, let me in. He's like, let me out. He's picking up stuff in the cage. He's throwing it around. He's having a full tantrum over here. A whole tantrum. Like a little baby. Quit having tantrums. Eat some of your grass. I got you some fresh grass in there. Don't tell me you don't want your grass. Bale laughs. It is actually really good, Derek. I recently posted a bunch of stream clips too. I don't know if you guys are interested in those. I've kind of like cut down versions of the boss fights. I figured it could be interesting to take a look at just the boss fights. I've only killed 9 bosses so far, according to my count. So that's all I've got right now. A lot of them were really fun though. Margit the Fell Omen and Godric the Godric the Grafted. Those were really fun. They were both really fun fights. I plan to do some more Elden Ring. I may do some Elden Ring. I don't know, tomorrow maybe. I'm trying to figure it out. Like I got a kind of a night shift tomorrow. So it's like my double shift, and then Wednesday the patch comes for 2.4 public test realm, so that's going to be another day that I'm going to be on, doing not Elden Ring. I kind of want to sneak some Elden Ring in tomorrow. I think that's probably going to be the plan. I'll sneak some Elden Ring in tomorrow, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Not having a shield is hard. Hold on. I didn't have Zeal equipped. Hold on. We're doing this. Kelpie snare time, boys. Kelpie snare time, boys. Everything is gonna be slowed by 75%. Everything is gonna be slowed by lots of magic percent. Attacking really fast. That is what we do. Attacking really fast. We're attacking fast just for you. Yeah. Attacking really fast. Attacking really fast. What's up, my buddies? I'm gonna hit you with a spear. What's up, my buddies? They've got mana steel, and it's what I fear. Lots of 75% slows combined with holy freeze. The monsters can barely move, and they cannot touch me. You cannot do anything because you'll reach the cap you see. 80% slow is really difficult to counter because you suck and your mama is a hoe. Listerine, Listerine. I bet y'all didn't expect that to be so powerful, did you? I bet y'all expected I was gonna die. But no, Kelpie Snare is OP as all get out. The 75% slows target on Kelpie Snare is freaking nuts. I'm gonna kill Bale with it too, because why not? What's up, Bailey Otzenfree? I heard you like getting 75% slowed plus 57% slowed, which equals a lot of slowing. I heard you like extreme amounts of slowing. And yes, my attack rating may be terrible, but you still die. Kelpie, 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 snare, snary, snary, kelp. Kelpie, 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 snare, snare, snare. If you ever find yourself an ethereal Kelpie snare, hang on to it, because Kelpie snares are absolutely amazing for mercs. The 75% slow that's on the Kelpie snare combined with other effects, like especially if you use a Holy Freeze merc, can be extremely impressive. You definitely want to socket it and you want to upgrade it. What you do is you get yourself an ethereal Kelpie snare, upgrade it, socket it, probably put an Am rune in it or a Shale rune, and then just put it on your merc and let him have fun murdering things. It's a very effective weapon indeed. And the funny thing is that when you use it, the monster that he is attacking is relatively like neutered. Because the 75% slow is so drastically high, it's just whatever monster he attacks is just kind of just stuck in a loop. Extremely powerful weapon. Extremely powerful. Snake cord, my boys! Snake cord! Dropping that right back on the ground. Griswold's Edge. Poopity poopities. And I got Soulflay Claymore. 3 uniques, but none of them any good. All kind of garbage. Give me the stuff! +2 Blizzard, +2 Re-Energy Shield. So, I'm probably not going to keep this Kelpie Snare because I think I have like 4 or 5 of them. At least I think I do anyway. Yeah, I literally have another Kelpie Snare sitting in my stash. So if anybody wants this, you're more than welcome to it. It's a fairly good weapon for mercs. It's a low-level weapon, too. It's only level, 33, which is pretty nice. If you guys are interested in that, you're more than welcome to come snag it. Game is GGM1, password 16. It's not exactly like the greatest item in the world, but at level 33, trust me when I say, that's a freaking epic merc weapon. It will keep your merc alive. That 75% slow will definitely keep your merc alive. Let's go play around with something real quick. I need my cow. I got the cow. We're going to the cow level. I need a cow. Moo. Moo, 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 moo. I'm not even using guided arrow. There's my guided arrow. I have not. I have one more video to put out. The Amazon, I believe that's coming tomorrow. The Amazon is a contender. in my book. There's a lot of fun things going on with the Amazon, and I'm kind of excited to try out an Amazon for a ladder start character. I don't think I've built a ladder start Amazon in a while, and I feel like a ladder start Amazon could be a very fun choice. They have some very powerful abilities. They can work extraordinarily well in certain circumstances. Their gear is not too ridiculously hard to find, and they do have some very nice elemental damage, which can function in the place of actual equipment for quite some time. Could be interesting to see how that goes. I mean, honestly, with all the changes, I would be very inclined toward the spear. I've done Javazons out the wing. I've done many Javazons. The only reason why I would probably want to test out a Javazon is probably because the changes to Poison Javelin. I think it would be interesting to play around with a Poison Javelin Zon, especially in combination with a Lightning Fury Zon. So maybe like a Lightning Fury / Poison Javelin Zon, I think could be a very interesting combination. And I'm not really 100% sure. Fire off your arrows into the distance, it's okay, there's cows everywhere. Switch to your shield and let's beat them dead. All the cows on the way. Korun. Die 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 die. Oh no, my weapon is breaking. No, my mercenary died. All them full juvies that dropped though. It must have been champions in there. Must have been champions. Always with the burden of the over, never with the burden of the under. Oh, stop beating me. Frickin' mana burn. Rude. Ruade. The synchronized mooing from the aura pulses is kind of hilarious. It literally, you just, as you walk around, you just hear all the cows moo in synchronization. It's like a metronome. Coming at you hot with them big old moves. Coming at you hot with them big old moves. Gonna hit you with all the ice and the cold. And I heard you up and make you mold. Weapon's gonna break. My weapon's gonna break. Switch to the bow. Die, hell bovines. Your bovine helliness is not for me. Ow, frickin' jank hurts. Frickin' cursed monsters being all cursed and jank. Kind of interested to see how good this character would be if he's actually finished. He's not finished, by the way. He's far from finished. He's getting there. He's very close to where he should be. He's got another like 11 levels before I would consider his level to be finished. Level 93 is a good stopping point. He also has some better equipment that he can get his hands on. Like for instance, he needs a Nightwing's Veil. He needs some various other pieces of equipment which will get him more in line with his intended goal. Right now he has kind of like some generic equipment on, which is close but not really quite what he needs. I was actually planning on giving him Medusa's Gaze, so he has the negative lower resistance proc, which it's gonna take some of his resistances away, and we're gonna have to figure that out. He's also gonna have more strength to use Medusa's Gaze, and it is gonna be a little bit of a downside from the plus to skill category because he's gonna get less plus to skills, but I do believe that negative resistance is gonna have a huge effect on the amount of damage he outputs. So we'll play around with that. Bink. Co-rune's a good find. Co-runes are nice. I like me some co-runes. I got lots of co-runes, but I like them. They're good. I like co's. Chaucer.
Greetings.
I'm using Heaven's Light with 2 cold facets, man. 200% chance to cast level 37 Blizzard when I die. Woo, 200% chance. Is that like, does that mean that I get 2 when I die and not just 1? Is that like a double bubble toil and trouble? Double bubble toil and trouble. Yes. I was also considering switching from the switching to the death set when they finally drop patch 2.4. I think running running the death sash and the death's gloves might be a better combo for me in general. And then I could also utilize a different plus to skill ring, which could be useful. Maybe another Bolcathos wedding band. There's a lot of interesting choices that I'm planning on making that I haven't quite figured out exactly how I want to build this guy. I guess it also comes down to what kind of buff they do to Holy Freeze. How good is it? I'm kind of interested to see how good it's going to be. Greaves. 13% magic fine, 2 res, but not really that great. No faster run walk. Meh. I see you there, Mr. Knee. Throwing a fit. Throwing a whole fit. Don't think I didn't see. I can't wait till the bow girl gets buffed up because right now she's not really strong enough to be a useful character. She's just kind of just there firing off her faith bow. But once she gets exploding arrow, or I think I might actually go with cold arrow for her just to really hammer down the ice element. Freezing arrow is going to be exceptionally useful on her. I have, but I mean we can talk about it some more. Fitness coaching with Dimitri. Are you excited for the zoo druid? Because that's literally what they've made, right? So it's literally the entire zoo. You get all the characters. I actually added them up earlier. It's going to be 16 summons at one time. And you could even stack on, a good idea might be to stack on a stone armor for the clay golem. So you could have the clay golem too. That would be 17. There's also a couple other items in the game you could utilize. Like, for instance, I think there's a weapon that has blood golem on it. You could also, I think, theoretically do a Valkyrie, too. I think there's a Valkyrie item. There's also a bow that has revive charges on it, so maybe you could do like a zoo druid, and then you could have some revive charges along with it. That could be interesting. You could even kind of go kind of like a necromancer route, and you could do a corpse-worn breastplate. I think it's the ornate plate, the corpse-worn ornate plate, which has corpse explosion charges on it. That could be interesting. Do a corpse explosion, add that into your zoo druid. That could be fun. It's definitely going to be interesting to have all the summons up at one time. So you know you got your five druids. You know your five druids. You got your 5 wolves, right? So you got your spirit wolves. You got your 3 dire wolves. You got your 1 bear. You got a creeper of some type, which might be poison, because the poison one is pretty powerful now for damage, and would give you a 3rd element. So you'd have physical damage, poison damage, and cold damage, because the spirit wolves do cold. You'd also get the spirit, of course, so the spirit could beef up your minions, which would definitely be an interesting choice. I mean, they are surprisingly easy to make. I'm gonna be honest with you. Early game,
I am overburdened.
Druid, a summoning Druid, is actually really easy. Early game, they are extremely easy characters. You can pretty much just walk through most content. Hey, look at that. +2 Pally, +2 Holy Shock. With 1 to 276 lightning damage on top. It's not really that good for level 50. It doesn't have any ED on it, but it does have +2 and +2 Holy Shock. The lack of ED doesn't really make it that great. Is this a Infernals or is this an Ithras? Good, that's a Rothas. I'll hold on to that. This is that terrible military pick that nobody ever wants to use. The only thing it's good for is literally mana regeneration, if I remember correctly. It's regenerate mana 20%. It has not really a lot of good effects on it. I see you up there biting and chewing. You want to come out? Are you going to be good? Are you going to be good? That's the question. Biting the bars is not the answer. Biting the bars just makes me think you're going to be bad. You going to be bad or you going to be good? Let me finish killing these cows. Now you better be good. Doors open. Fart face. I said doors open, silly boy. He's a You weren't even paying attention. Uh-oh, here he comes. Watch out, here he comes. He's a Chinchilla. Watch out, here he comes. He's gonna bite you up. Watch out, here he comes. He's a Chinchilla. They see you, okay? You're not hiding. I don't know where you think you're doing. They know you're here. And your hands are cold. Go warm them up. Little tiny cold hands. Why are your hands so cold? Thought Chinchillas were supposed to be warm and all that fur. Rune, boys. Oh, yeah. I know y'all jealous of my Rune find. Them janks is rare. Them janks is so rare. I know y'all's jealous. I know y'all's jealous. That is the too legit to quit find there. Too legit. Too legit to quit. Found a rune. The rarest of the runes. Elite rune. Too legit to quit. Too legit.
It's locked.
Too legit to quit. Wednesday, yes, Wednesday. It's going to be up. I would assume, because this, from my experience, I've seen many times that they've brought up PTR very, very late in the day. It's because they're at Pacific Standard Time, and Pacific Standard Time is way behind most of the, world. Like, if you're, for instance, if you're like in China or something like that, or Japan, like it's pretty much tomorrow already, and in San Francisco, it's like still the day before. In the past over here. So, like, generally, like, if you're East Coast or whatever, I would expect it to be up around sometime around 1. I would say about 1 p.m. EST. That's the most likely outcome. Because they don't put it up until they're ready. So, you know, like, 1 p.m. EST translates to, like, what is that, like, 8 or 9, like, PST? I'm on the East Coast, mob. I'm all the way over on the coast of the East, where the presidents are born and we make lots of ham and yeast. Ham capital of the world. Okay? Ham capital of the world. And peanuts. We like peanuts here too. Peanuts and ham. I got a joke for you guys on the West Coast. So there was people and they explored, right? They were in Europe. So they decided, hey, we're going to go across the ocean. And they got to the United States, but that wasn't far enough. And they started to go further east and they found the Mississippi, but that wasn't far enough. And they went as far west as they could possibly go and they found the Rocky Mountains. And they were like, no, this isn't far enough. We need to travel even further. And they went across the Rocky Mountains and they found the ocean. Literally the ocean. And they're like, no, that's not far enough. And they went across the ocean back to China. They never stopped going that way. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna keep going. We already got this far. I mean, we can see what's around the corner. Maybe there's something else over there. There's big giant bears here. I'm kind of scared of them, so we're gonna go across the ocean and see if we can get away from these big giant bears. These dang Kodiak bears and giant. We thought the black bears in Virginia were bad, but the Kodiak bears are like 3 times the size. 3 times the size. Mr. Meanie, he's right behind my head. He knows where the camera is and he hides behind my head. Look. See him? Look, he's literally right behind my head. I blocked so many bots too. I don't even. At some point, I guess I just need to like just move on. Love the upgraded set series. Love the content, the style, delivery. Well, thank you, Fitness Coaching with Dimitri. This is my hat. He's a very warm hat. He's a nice hat. Don't be jealous of my hat. You too can have a Chinchilla hat if you want. You too can have a Chinchilla hat. Remember, Mr. Chinchilla, the floor is lava. That is the only rule. The floor is lava. Dang, he's talking up a storm today. He got a lot to say today, apparently. Mr. NiNi, don't you go over there. You fixing to get a fight? You want to fight? I'll fight you. You want to get fought? You want to get fought? We're going to fight. And I'm going to eat you too. Watch this. Like, put it on your tummy. Oh yeah, Zoo Druid could be great MF, especially early game. I would think it would actually work quite well. I did a Zoo Druid in beta. Obviously, I didn't have access to all of the summons at the same time. But I did a Zoo Druid in beta, and he worked surprisingly well. I got him full Magic Find gear. He didn't really need anything specifically, and he had a really good time up until, you know, obviously when you get to like Nightmare difficulty, things start to go downhill a little bit. But he did just fine up till Hell. Hell difficulty where things went bad. But now that they're allowing you to use all your minions at one time, it's pretty cool. Sorry for coming in late, so what's changing? I missed everything. Dang it, Redneck Gaming. Dang it, Redneck Gaming. Ow, why are you biting my neck? What did I do to you? Neck biter? Take a look at that video right there, Redneck. That's the full patch notes. I go over everything. If you want to take a look. That's your best bet. It's about 40 minutes. But I do go over everything. I talk about all the changes that are coming. There's a lot of really good changes, so it's definitely worth a check, a look-see. It's definitely worth a look-see. Stop being rude. What is wrong with you? You little fart face. I'll see you in there making faces and stuff. I see you making faces. He gets so mad when I put him in there. He's like, I want to come out. He said, let me come out. I want to see. Look at him. Look at him. See him? See him just chewing the bars? Just searching for a way out. I'm gonna get a Chinchilla cam. I'm gonna get another webcam, and I'm just gonna point it at the Chinchilla. Raisins. They love raisins, Matt. Raisins are like their crack cocaine. I swear. They literally will like hunt you down and kill your firstborn child for a raisin. And that may have gotten dark really quickly, but I wanted to really, I wanted to really accentuate how much they love raisins. There's a lot of raisin love there. Like a ton. I'm not sure why, Redneck Gaming. It might be because I put out tons of videos and maybe they just don't like me anymore. They're like, he puts out too many videos. Or maybe it's all Mr. NiNi's fault. It's probably his fault. You heard me, Mr. Ni. I said it was your fault. What you got to say about that? Mm-hmm. He's got words. He's got words to say. I don't have any L runes? Dang. Alright. I mean, give them time. We can't really assume that they're not going to do that. It's just it's a matter of time. I'm gonna have to get a little tiny green screen for him too. Put it behind his cage so you guys can see through him. Mr. Niece. They said they want a Mr. NiNi cam. Why does he look so angry? He looks so angry for some reason. He looked like he's about to fight me. Mr. NiNi, I don't want to fight you. I don't know what he's doing. Give me my cow back. You don't deserve him. Give me my cow. You just being mean to him. It's my cow. You don't get a cow. It's mine. Alright guys and gals, I do have to go to work tomorrow, and tomorrow is a double shift, and I also would like to do some Elden Ring streaming tomorrow, so I need to get some sleep. If you haven't checked out the patch notes, I would recommend that you check out the patch notes. I'm going to link them one more time. That is the full patch notes there, along with the link to the blog post by Blizzard. So if you want to check that out. March the 2nd. So that's the day that the 2.4 patch drops. So expect there to be a live stream. I'm pretty sure I'll be live streaming like all day long, testing out the new changes, the Zoo Druid, all that really fun stuff. I'll be testing out everything. So, you know, if you want to hop on and you want to take a look and see what's going on patch day, we're definitely going to have a lot of fun with that. Mr. NiNi is going to go back down to his regular house. You don't get to stay in your summer home. This is your summer home. You don't get to stay in this. Why your heart beating so fast for? He's like so angry. Ooh, I'm angry at life and everything and demons. All right, guys. As always, thanks for watching and keep watching.